Facebook Chief Operating Officer Sheryl Sandberg made the rounds on Capitol Hill last week amid the growing furor over Moscow's use of social media to influence the 2016 presidential election. The company revealed last month that a Russian firm with links to the Kremlin bought more than $100,000 worth of ads on Facebook between June 2015 and May 2017. But would that be enough to influence the outcome of a presidential race? Mark Penn is managing director of the Stagwell Group. He was chief strategist on Bill Clinton's 1996 presidential campaign, Hillary Clinton's 2000 Senate campaign, and Mrs. Clinton's 2008 presidential campaign. So, Mark, welcome. Good to see you.
Thank you.
You wrote an intriguing piece for us this week suggesting that $100,000 can't buy an election. Why don't you explain that?
Well, look, the premise of the piece is enough fake news about fake news. That if you just took a little simple math, Facebook told us that 56% were spent after the election. So only $44,000 could even have been in the election period. That most of it didn't refer to a candidate, that most of it was not in swing states. By the time you do the simple math, you get down to about $6,500 may have been in swing states during the year of the election. It's incredible that we're spending all this time talking about something like that just a little math explodes.
All right, but there's a sort of a sense that I get talking to Democrats that says, you know, this election was so close in those key Midwestern states, so close in Wisconsin, that if foreign agents, foreign sources just poured a little money into those districts with a message that looked to be anti-Clinton or anti-Obama, then you could actually influence the election in those states and turn the Electoral College.
I wish that it was so easy. I mean, $2.4 billion were spent on this presidential election. Hillary Clinton had a $400 million advantage over Donald Trump. And just in the last week, her super PAC put $6 million into Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Florida to suggest that a few $1,000s of these incredibly targeted ads, which they weren't, they didn't even know when the election day was, is ludicrous. And we have to be honest with ourselves. Whether this argument hurts or helps Democrats, we have to have some honest, fact-based discussions in this country.
All right, you compared this in your piece to what the Chinese tried to do in 1996, and we know there was an attempt by foreign agents there to influence the campaign on behalf of Bill Clinton. But you say, you know, that wasn't decisive either.
Well, it wasn't decisive. It was hundreds of thousands of dollars. It was probably bigger, and of course money meant a little bit more in 1996. It was probably bigger, but we kept it in proportion. We did investigate it. There were some fundraisers who were prosecuted. It was clear the Chinese government had a, quote, China plan. No, it wasn't decisive, but we didn't make it a national fixation. We tightened up validation procedures about foreign contributions, and we should tighten up fake accounts and, you know, clearing ads and things like that. We should clear that up. We should take this as a warning that this wasn't something that really made a difference, but somebody could in the future.
All right, so your advice to Facebook, Twitter, and social media sites would be basically you're going to have to dig into who the sources of these things, these ads are in the next election and make sure you screen out these foreign-sourced ads, because obviously if we knew that a Russian ad was buying a full-page ad in the Wall Street Journal, for example, attacking a candidate, we wouldn't take the money.
Well, technically, the Supreme Court has protected non-candidate issue communications. So Facebook has a lot of issues to consider. I guess the point is, look, in good faith, you should have the basic procedures that a lot of TV stations have for ads, that you run through political ads. You should really do your best on fake accounts and make sure this doesn't become a real problem because because we got so overheated here in doing this. It could become a real problem, but it wasn't.
Okay. Now, your party, the Democratic Party, are they paying too much attention here, in your view, to Russia's role in the election and saying, look, with the idea that made this Trump's victory illegitimate? Are they just focusing too much on that, the last election, and not enough on the next one?
Yeah, look, I think where the Democrats have had the strongest ground so far has been on health care. I think they clearly won the argument on health care. I think as President Obama went out yesterday, I think they seem less divided. I think the extent to which I think everybody attacks our democracy or calls it illegitimate or divides the country, I don't think anybody wins in that discussion. I think the people who win in this discussion are those who unite the country. 91% in my Harvard-Harris poll want Democrats and Republicans to work together, even though they dislike them all in today's politics.
All right, thank you for being here, Mark Penn. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
When we come back, a bipartisan bill on Obamacare facing opposition from some Republicans on Capitol Hill. So how good a deal is it for Republicans and Democrats?